This is Jonathan Anger, Fear for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Fabio Wardley, back in action this weekend at the O2. Fabio, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Feeling good, happy, ready to get going.
Oleksandr is the opponent. Just from your end, how did it sort of land on him?
Kingsley Ibeh.
Sorry, Kingsley Ibeh.
I was going to say, it was Vaughan. I was like, a last minute swapping, hang on, no one told me. Kingsley Ibeh. Yeah, he's just, to be honest, we had 3 confirmed and then dropouts in total. So he was game, he was ready, he was fit, he said he'd been training, he was good to go, he was happy to jump in, so that's how we landed on him, and he gave another prospect a good go in the ring, which ended up in a draw with that person. Jared Anderson obviously beat him, but Jared Anderson's a big prospect, so that shows that he went 6 rounds with him, which means he's durable, strong, which is exactly what we need. And he's game, he comes forward, he comes after you, so it should be a good night.
Yeah, Oleksandr is on the card, but clearly not fighting you. Kingsley Ibeh, obviously, as you mentioned, fought Jared Anderson, Guido Vianello. Where do you see yourself compared to those guys? Do you feel like you're a bit sort of further ahead in your career than those guys?
Yeah, I think so. More so. Maybe me and Jared are very close, on more similar level. I think I'm ahead of Guido. He's only had maybe 8 fights, I think, something like that. Not too many, so he's still building through. I don't know much of his whole kind of background and stuff, but I think I'm ahead of those guys. But they're still up and coming. They're still learning as well in similar places to where I am. So if Kingsley can give them a good test, hopefully he can do the same thing for me.
Saw reports of a potential fight against Carlos Takam. Was that, how far did that get from your knowledge to you?
Yeah, it got close. It got really close. We said yeah, they said yeah. There was some breakdown somewhere. I don't know, maybe in terms of short time frame, not being ideal, preparations, something like that. I'm not really sure where the breakdown between the 2 teams were, but at least it's something we can do at a later date. It's kind of pre-agreed, so maybe we can pick it up early next year.
I think the press is just about to start, so we'll pick it up after. Just picking it back up with Fabio Wardley. Just had the press conference, Chisora-Pulev. What did you make of it?
It was good fun. It's pretty much what you expected it was going to be. You thought it was going to start a little bit slow and then obviously pick up with them 2 when they start getting the back and forths and the mouth start going and the talk start going. It got a little argy-bargy, but I think Derek even said himself he's on his kind of final warning from the board, so he can't get too stuck in, but no tables flying around today.
I saw you patting the table down just to tell him don't pick this one up.
I was just checking the sturdiness, seeing if it could go. I just had my hands spreading on it just in case anything went going. I'm just making sure.
What's it like when you're up there and it's kind of all, it wasn't kicking off, but it was going back and forth like you say? Do you anticipate something happening? Do you think I need to maybe get in the middle in case it kicks off?
Nah, I tell you what, I'm definitely not getting in the middle. I've got a fight to worry about. If them 2 want to do what they do, that's them. I'm not involved at all. But in terms of it kicking off, it's fun, it's entertaining, I enjoy it. It's what we're here for. We want to see some animosity in boxing. We want to see them go back and forth with each other. So it's good for the fans, it promotes the fight. So all we've got to do now is wait for Saturday night.
And how well do you know Chisora? Have you sparred each other before?
Yeah, I know him really well, to be fair. I sparred him loads and loads kind of in the earlier stages of my career when I was starting out. And then as times progressed, I helped him when he was training for Joseph Parker as well. So I sparred him for that. So over time, I've spoke with him a lot, spent a lot of time with him, been around him. We've sparred, I don't know how many rounds now, loads and loads. So yeah, very familiar with him and familiar with his work.
How'd you see the main event going?
Just like he said, he's going to stick it on him. I don't think... Not to say Chisora doesn't know any other way to work, but I think that that is him. That's how he does it. He probably could box a different way if he really wanted to, but he doesn't want to. He's an entertainer at the end of the day. That's what he wants to do, is entertain people and stick it on. And like you say, that's why Ed pays him the money and brings him back on, because he does that. So, yeah, I think that's what you're going to get on Saturday night.
Obviously, heading into your fight against Kingsley Ibeh, do you think, got it that time, do you think you're going to go in there and stop him? Because you've been doing that, I mean, all but 1 fight in your career.
Yeah, I've stopped all bar my debut. It is something I do. So yeah, I'm very confident I can stop him. But I've got no plans to rush it, no plans to force it, speed through. And like I say, I want rounds. I want to chill through this a bit, take my time, be precise in my movements, be precise in my work and what I do, and work him through and wear him down and get going from there.
Nathan Gorman obviously has been ordered by the board for the English title, I believe. What's the situation now? I mean, it seems like a bigger fight than that, but Joe Joyce obviously has the British title.
Yeah, it's a weird one, to be honest, because obviously the board ordered the fight between me and Nathan Gorman for my English title. Now, a fight between me and Nathan Gorman is a much bigger fight than an English title. One, we're both past that level, way past that level. I know I still have hold of the English title, but I can drop that at any point. I've got no interest in it anymore in terms of holding on to it. As well as I've won my English title and I defended it at fight camp against Nick Webb. But in that whole time, Joe Joyce has not defended his at all. So it doesn't make any sense as to why mine's being called and his isn't, which is a strange thing, which is a question obviously we're going to have to pose and put to the board and question them about and see what's going on there. But I think what we need to do is I need to relinquish the English title, push for that British, which I think then will force Joyce to vacate that, and then we can put me and Nathan Gorman together.
Does a fight between you and Gorman have to happen with the British title on the line? If say Eddie and Calla got together and said, look, you can fight each other, whether it's on DAZN or Channel 5, and there's no British title on the line, maybe his IBF, I believe, International European belt, would that be enough, or do you want it for the Lonsdale?
Maybe for his belt. I don't really have too much. I don't put too much stock in those IBF International kind of belts, and not to be disrespectful, not to take away from him. It's an achievement. It's silverware. He won that outright. That's his. Fair enough. But something like the British title is a lot more prestigious, a lot more renowned, well known, and something a bigger tick on the box for me. But no, I don't think the fight would happen without any sort of silver on the line.
I know there are any other guys that are on your radar apart from Gorman?
You, if you get my opponent's name wrong again.
Ibeh.
No one really. I'm not really like that too much. I'm not too fussed about who. I don't care who they are, who they put in front of me. I think it's the same. I've said it to Ed 100 times. I don't care who he sticks me in with. That's fine. I just need to fight. I need to be fighting regularly, and I'm in that stage now where I'm moving into those big fights. So I want to have a good test. So if it's someone good and it's someone of a high level, high ranking, good name, cool. I'm in. I'm sold.
And talking about AJ Usyk coming up, I know you've sparred both. How do you see the rematch going?
Yeah, I see it as a repeat, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because I always back the home team. I want AJ to win. He is a Brit, but he's made the right choice, and obviously bringing Robert Garcia in, and a different trainer, a different element, but whether that's enough time to really implement that, make something off it, get some work off it, and figure that out game plan, and not just implement a game plan that's going to work against kind of anyone, but against Oleksandr Usyk, someone who is such a technical boxer. So that's a difficult one to see him coming through on, unfortunately.
Remember when we spoke before about Usyk, you said what impressed you most was how sort of precise he is with sort of his punches. So did the first fight surprise you at all?
No, not at all. Not at all, because he's mentally demanding. He puts so much pressure on you in different ways for you, that with his hand movement, with his foot movement, with a slight shift of the shoulder, with a slight lift of the head, he'll even, if small as, give you the eyes and make you think something's going to happen. And you could see by the end of that fight with AJ that his tank was below empty. There was nothing there, and that's all off those little bits of work that Usyk does.
And how do you describe his power for people that want to know?
Don't get me wrong, he hasn't got that Deontay Wilder, AJ kind of clean you out in one shot power, but the thing is with him, he lands so precise and so consistently that it takes a toll, like up, down, then a hook, then this, then that, and he'll get 5 or 6 off, and you won't catch or block them either. They'll land clean, so that's what takes the toll.
Just finally, your manager Dillian, is he going to be there on Saturday? And who do you want to see him in with?
He won't be there, unfortunately, on Saturday. He's back over Portugal, training hard as he always does, getting ready for his next bout. In terms of what he's doing next, obviously, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't gone over it with him, but we all know his mentality. We know what him like Derek said there. One loss, a loss doesn't define anyone. We still want to see him in the game. We still want to see him against good level opposition. So he's going to be there. He'll be out in maybe 2 or 3 months, something like that. But it won't be long till you see him in the ring again.
Fabio Wardley, best of luck on Saturday night. Appreciate it.
Thank you.